It's not who I am underneath, but what I do that defines me.
Matt Gaetz?
What's up, guys? Your boy Benny. The shock and awe strategy is, of course, a military tactic when you barrage the enemy with so much artillery and munitions that they just can't catch a breath. And that, I think, is precisely what is happening right now with President Trump and his cabinet appointments. He is just hitting libs so hard and from so many different angles. The element of surprise is on our side. They don't know what to do. RFK Jr. selected as the man to lead HHS. Just a reminder, RFK Jr. wrote the book, The Real Anthony Fauci, where he talks about how Dr. Fauci should be in prison. And now he's going to get all the access to Dr. Fauci's experiments. Elon Musk just posted that my pronouns are still prosecute Fauci. Ooh, baby. This while Matt Gaetz is going to be our next attorney general. The hammer of justice is coming, Elon Musk posting, as the Justice League unites here. It's like, how accurate was this? This was made like a few months ago. And it's like really accurate in the administration. Tucker Carlson, the lone man who's on, I guess, in the administration, unless he becomes press secretary. I don't know. I'm not sure. I know this. Joe Biden was freaking so scared about it. Joe Biden was not happy about what was going on. Look, he looks terrified. And Donald Trump in command. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a thermonuclear explosion that has hit Washington, D.C., as Donald Trump has confirmed, of course, the appointments of Matt Gaetz, RFK, Tulsi Gabbard, Pete Hegseth at the Pentagon. All of it just barrage after barrage that the left can't deal with. Bad day to be canola oil. It's like, actually true. The best memes are the ones that are actually true. Look at what's happened to pharma stocks since the RFK announcement. Pfizer. Hope it goes to zero, scum. Many FDA employees are already preparing to quit in mass. Good. You won't be missed. Ladies and gentlemen, as everybody is sitting here absorbing the glory of having a health and human services director that's healthy and that cares about humans, some sleuths online were noticing that Matt Gaetz's wife has posted something very, very cryptic about Matt Gaetz. Now, Matt Gaetz will be the next attorney general. The way that recess appointments work is that President Trump can recess appoint someone as long as the Senate leader approves of it for 2 years, and they can do their job. And this is how you get around the Senate filibuster or really long Senate hearings that may drag out. Matt Gaetz has been around long enough and been a disruptor to the system long enough to have enemies, okay? And so people in the Senate could gum it all up. Donald Trump could just recess appoint with the majority and get Matt Gaetz in there right away. So it can happen, and Matt Gaetz will be your next attorney general. That means his wife, whose name's Ginger Gaetz, what she says has major consequence. And let's go ahead and look at what she said. Ladies and gentlemen, Matt Gaetz's Ginger Gaetz posts cryptic picture on her ex. Ginger Gaetz posted a picture of her husband, Matt Gaetz, Trump's attorney general, standing in the middle of a prison in El Salvador with the words, "Happy Thursday." Gaetz toured the Center for Confinement of Terrorism last summer. The cryptic picture comes following the outrage from both Republicans and Democrats. Oh, give me a break. Now, former congressman also spectacularly resigned from Congress, burning the boats. He's heading forward, only forward. The dramatic move comes amid deep state reports on him that, nobody really believes, to be quite honest with you. Nor should you. Here it is. Now, I thought this was AI at first. This is Matt Gaetz looking like Neo, right? Looking like Neo from Matrix inside of like a Matrix-looking penitentiary. But this isn't the Matrix. This is real life. So here we go. What is this place? This is El Salvador's counterterrorism confinement center. A prison for gang members and other prisoners considered to be among the worst offenders. It has a 40,000 prisoner capacity, making it one of the world's largest prisons. The prison's cavernous interior with high ceilings, polished floors, large built-in cages. Besides the halls, the men housed there are the worst of the worst. Other measures taken against the gang members: reducing prisoners' rations to 2 meals a day of beans and tortillas, denying mattresses to prisoners, ordering gang members be confined in their cells 24/7. These are the MS-13 gang members. CNN has gone and toured these prisons, looking into the eyes of mass murderers in El Salvador. They are stacked with tens of thousands of gang members who, don't get to see much sunlight and are being punished for their crimes. El Salvador used to, of course, be the hotbed of criminality, mass murders, gang activity. Gangs used to run the entire country. How has locking them all up worked out for El Salvador? According to the government of El Salvador is now safer than the United States of America. Look at this. El Salvador became safer. This is homicides per 100,000 people. El Salvador, of course, used to be really bad. And then look what happens when you lock up and punish all of your criminals. Yeah, baby. This is the president of El Salvador, Nayib Bukele. This ain't out of a Star Wars movie. This is actually the forces who he has deployed in order to destroy crime in El Salvador. And destroy it, he has. El Salvador is now one of the top 5 safest countries on earth. El Salvador is freaking winning. Bukele taking a hard crime approach seems to be turning El Salvador around. Homicides today are down, thousands of percentile. Less people are getting murdered is a good thing. The murder rates for Latin America, El Salvador is the lowest on the chart. Look at that. It is safer in El Salvador than any country in all of Latin America. Wow, so it looks like actually locking up the criminals in your country makes your country safer. 6,000 security forces deployed against gangs is actual military warfare. And it's not just the warfare of the gangs, warfare internally in the government. Remarkable video from El Salvador. The president of El Salvador gathers every single official in the executive branch in his government and announces a surprise. He asked the attorney general to investigate all of them for corruption. And CNN is now writing headlines. Matt Gaetz would oversee U.S. prisons as attorney general. He thinks El Salvador's hardline lockups are the model. Would you look at that? Look at that. Oh, would you look at that? Right? That's what this means. If you know, you know. Matt Gaetz would follow the El Salvador model. The El Salvador model has been amazing. The president, and you should totally follow him, put George Soros on notice during a CPAC speech this week. Who elected George Soros to dictate public policy or laws? Why does he feel entitled to impose his agenda? He will hit a brick wall in El Salvador. Wouldn't it be nice to have an AG who says that? Who prosecutes George Soros for illegal foreign money laundering into our elections, which he does. Talk about foreign influence in our election. President Bukele fact checks reporters. A democracy needs a free press. Don't call yourself a journalist if you're just an activist. Man, I gotta tell you. The balls on this guy to go after gang warfare the way that he did in El Salvador, and to lock these guys up. Look at this. There's your MS-13. And he made El Salvador literally safer than America in the time span of 4 years? 4 years. There you go. 4 to 5 years. Why not? Why not do it here? I would like for this to be America. Why not apply this to all of the criminals in America, all of the foreign criminals in America, all of the criminal aliens in America? Ladies and gentlemen, this is what Matt Gaetz' wife, Ginger Gaetz, is saying is about to happen. Are you ready, ladies and gentlemen? We sure as hell are. The president of El Salvador explaining to Tucker Carlson exactly what needs to happen. Sounds like what's happening right now, in fact. Here we go.
Well, you need leadership. But I'll tell you something. If you see the mess that we were living here,
Yes.
it's a bigger mess than what you have over there.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, well, just the fact that a third of our population fled the country and went to the United States
I know.
gives you an example that the mess we were living here and that we still have in other areas that, not safety, we're the safest country in the Western Hemisphere, but we have problems in other areas, like the economy, for example.
Yeah.
So, but our problems were bigger than your problems in relative sizes.
So you said
So
that
if you can fix a mess like this in the U.S. with a limited amount of wealth, with scientists, innovation like no other country in the world. Still, the innovation is coming from the U.S. It's more than any other country still, right? Even not because of the government, but it has the best innovators, AI.
for sure.
I mean, anything. So you still have the best innovators. You still have the biggest companies. You still have the world reserve currency, the biggest wealth, the biggest GDP. The availability to hire talent from anywhere. You can bring whatever talent you need to fix any gaps. You can pick any. You get it. You get what you want. You still can get what you want. You can't get attacked because you're
Too far away.
You're too far away from anyone
Yeah.
that wants to attack you, because Mexico or Canada are not going to attack the U.S. So your enemies are too far away, and you still have the biggest army, the biggest armed forces.